Hey YouTube, what's up? Perfect Blue here. Recently I watched a CDK007 video about Abiogenesis. It was pretty informative, I say. I really think everybody who watches this video and is not a creationist or just gently interested in science is supposed to subscribe to this man. He posts really smart videos, I would say, and everything he explained really made sense. You know, I was always in biology and stuff, but it's nice to get informed, so extra scholarly. Well, you can actually watch his video right now in the background because I'm playing it, and because he's not using any type of voice recording, so you can read it. You can read it for yourselves. I also give a link to this video and to his channel. What I originally wanted to discuss was, well, a discussion I had with a Christian, and the point was that there was some sort of chanting, or they made some missionary stuff. I don't know, they came just over to the country of Poland, and I got involved in a discussion with a Baptist. Well, this is unusual because, you know, in Poland they're just Catholics, and I'm ex-Catholic. And what inspired me in this discussion was that he was pretty ignorant about his beliefs. For instance, I began the discussion with asking what he actually believes, so nice and politely, not just, hey, what you believe, oh, you don't know about that. No, I was just polite. I asked him a question, and he tried to explain to me nice, and we got a discussion rolling. So he was pretty ignorant about what he believes, you know. I asked him, does he believe in a one God, three gods, one God in three forms, or one God that changes a form, you know, and if he just turns himself into Jesus, or just one God that manipulates stuff, for instance, like Jesus is just an avatar of him, or a sock puppet, you could say. And, well, he was pretty much confused, you could say that. So the discussion got rolling, and something occurred to me in this mind probing of it, that actually God disproves himself. I have my I had two, now I have three. I had two very hard arguments against God, and they were theologically based, and they were pretty new, I think. You know, I always share them in my videos now too, but if you really want to disprove God, or simply realize that God is impossible, those three proofs will make it, you know. There is no mistranslation in theology. There is no out of context. You present the context. You present in whole entirety how it works, how it's supposed to function. Well, it's actually like a science, about science fiction, more like comic books. But it's pretty good. So my first argument was, how could you trust God? Why trust God? This is the question, you know. Let's assume God exists. Let's put away the silly burden of proof. Let's put it away. Let's assume God exists and he's powerful. Let's also assume this. We know it's 100%. And now, how do we know? Or why should we trust God? How do we know he's trustworthy? Well, this sounds pretty easy. He tells us he's trustworthy, but what makes us think that he's telling the truth? You know, if he's a powerful, all-knowing being, he could be pulling a prank on us, you know. We could be just toys in his hands. So why should we trust him? Maybe he's not so powerful. Maybe he's just having some extraordinary powers, and there is no actual afterlife. Maybe he gets some kicks or some energy, and this is somehow our beliefs are needed to sustain him, and he's just pulling a prank on us, or trying to sustain his existence. Why believe God? You know, it's a simple question. And there is no actual answer to that, because in other things, like in philosophy and thinking, that there are no absolute proofs. You can never be sure that your mother is not going to kill you tomorrow. It's just unlikely because of the experience you have with her. So you can never say 100% something. But there's always this little benefit of doubt, you know. It could be the doubt that we're in the Matrix. It's possible. It's just an ancient philosophical concept. And how do we know that God is for real? Or because he's for real, why should we trust him? It's a simple question. If we assume this being is powerful and also incredibly smart, then the potential for tricking us rises exponentially. For instance, if you trust a simple being that tells you that he's the creator and you're supposed to worship it, would you believe it? Would you buy a car and then pray that? I don't think so. You wouldn't go to a car salesman and he tells you, "Oh, I am all loving and all mighty and I want everything best for you. Just buy this car and it's definitely not broken." Well, would you believe it? I don't think so. So this tiny question, it's very easy to get your mind around, Why trust God? It gets a question and it's really grinds some gears, but it's one of the weaker ones. My actual proof that I got from him was very, very much complicated and simply it disproves God's existence altogether, like in the Bible described. It was just pure mayhem. And if you get your mind around this little concept, the second question is, if God claims he's all-knowing, how does he know that? It's also a question about trust and knowledge. Well, maybe just about knowledge, God. We assume he's telling the truth now and everything is correct. There are no mistranslation, nothing. He's all-knowing. If we assume God is all-knowing, how does he know he's all-knowing? How does God know he's not tricked, for instance, by Satan, that is really the real true God and he's just playing a prank on us because he's evil? Or maybe God has been created by a different God. Let's name God A, and our Christian God, and what is God B, that has been tricked into thinking and his memories are actually false. Or this entire reality has been created by a different being that simply makes a matrix for God, It creates an artificial. If you watch the movie, you just simply get the idea if I'm not explaining it too long. So yeah, it's just a matrix scenario for God. How does God himself know that he's not in the matrix and there's some super puppeteer or whatever beyond that? It's just a simulation for God, and his powers may be very powerful in the matrix in this reality here, but outside of it, they cannot breach, and they trick him. For instance, if God had the ability to check if he's in a matrix, then if this would give a positive result or a negative, would be completely regardless, because it would be part of the trick. If you would have the ability to magically tell you that you're not in the matrix, it will likely deceive you. So how do you know that you're all-knowing? Because this little part is hidden from you, so you cannot be all-knowing. You don't know that, but it will be indistinguishable from us. Well, this is again a little concept of philosophy, you could just say it, and it grinds against this notion of all-knowing. It's impossible to say after this little thought experiment that something, even if it existed and could predict 100% everything in this universe, could be all-knowing, because if there would be something out of this universe would be hidden but real, it would be indistinguishable. You could never distinguish that you are, even if a human or you became all-knowing, you could never distinguish that you really are all-knowing, because you'd never know if this is just part of this simulation and this trick, that you are not truly all-knowing, just very all-knowing, except one part, which is hidden, and you don't have this knowledge about it. And this makes you not all-knowing, because you don't know one thing, and all-knowing entails just knowing everything. Well, this video is getting long, or actually my voice recording is getting long, so I'm going to split my final disproof of God to another video, and I hope we get this rolling. So, have a nice day, and enjoy CDK's video. Really, subscribe to the guy. He's awesome. He gives his videos in a, on a site that you can download them, and I can just put them in. I was thinking about some random voice coloring stuff, like in a program, that responds to your waves, and you see something on the screen. But well, it was nice. It's really informative in the background. You can listen to me, or you can just turn off the volume and simply watch his video. Or just click on the link and subscribe to that man. I really think this video impressed me, because I'm always eager to learn some good knowledge. So, goodbye, see you in part 2. Perfect Blue signing out.